Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Medbee blog channel. Today I wanted to talk about something which is quite dear to me and is possibly one of the most important days of my entire life. Possibly up there with my medical school offer and getting my minor scholarship in year 7. So this day was the day that I was diagnosed with Aspergers syndrome. So I'm going to talk about specifically what happened on the day. So I'd had screening beforehand. So I'd been to CAMS already, and if you don't know what CAMS is, it's Child and Adolescent Mental Health Services. So I'd been to there in August after I'd been, one of my counsellors at school was like, oh, do you think that you could have Asperger's syndrome? 2 weeks before my AS exams, which was not fun. So I've been to a screening, and then we were in December, and I said to Mum, I was like, oh, have you heard from CAMS recently? She went, oh yeah, we're going for the meeting on Friday. And I'm like, right. So I went to CAMS on the 12th of December 2014, and this was the day that I got my diagnosis. So I'd only just turned 18 by this point, so I was like 18 years and 5 days, so you can use your maths to figure out when my birthday is. So we turned up on a day, so we were starting at, I think it was 9 or 10, and I had to go for like a screening sort of session. So I went in there, and it wasn't the most enjoyable 2 hours of my life, and I know I shouldn't really be saying that, but I think purely because of my age and what the test was catered for didn't really help me. So I was 18 when I went in there, as I said, but I think this test was catered towards 7-year-olds and like 6-year-olds, which is to be expected because that's the age that CAMS normally deals with, and that's the age that most diagnoses are picked up. But what it meant for me is that I had to do some quite tasks that I felt were a little bit beneath my age level. So one of them was I had to get these cards, and these cards were kind of like depicting a monkey kind of not sharing a banana and then finding out that he needs to share, and sharing's good, and then so I had to put them in a row, and then I had to stand up and kind of talk about it and like pretend as if I was explaining this story to the class, and it was just very cringy for me, and I'm like, I'm 18, like, can we not do something different here? And in fact, we can actually, because I've got my diagnosis letter here, on it, it's she showed good social initiation, and when she told me I feel very stupid doing this when asked to do the examination task, she asked me, do I have to stand up when asked to do the cartoon task? And yeah, because I felt really awkward. The assessors though were lovely, and although I kind of sat in the tasks and I was like, why am I doing this? Like, what the hell is this showing? I need to get back to school because I needed to resit one of my biology mocks because I'd failed it. So I was having to do this, and I know I had to go back to school afterwards to resit this mock. So I was also studying during the day as well. So yeah, it was a long hour and a half, and my mum had been interviewed at the same time, so they were talking about what I was like growing up. And I found out some really interesting stuff about me for having a little bit of a read for this. So I found out that I didn't used to play pretend games, which I think I kind of vaguely remember that. That I liked to play on my own, which was, I can remember that because I was that kid who used to walk around the playground by themselves, or that kid who wanted to stay indoors rather than go outside. So I'd always kind of knew I was a bit odd. And then someone at my school also sent some information in as well about what I was like, and it was quite funny because at one point it was, you have to ask like, what is the child's imagination, because obviously these things are going out to like 4-year-olds and things. They were like, oh, we can't really tell because of the subject she does, and I'm like, I've just done a year of English Lit and Lang, like I've written like 2 creative writing pieces for my coursework, like go back and have a look. But to their credit though, one of my biology teachers at my sixth form was lovely, and I remember talking to her about it because it was kind of playing on my mind a bit, and she was like, if you come out of there without a diagnosis, I'll be very shocked. Like, I think you've got it. Like, if you've got it, we can help you, and I think you really need this diagnosis. So I was just going for the screening, going, well, my biology teacher thinks I've got it, my counsellor thinks I've got it, I think I've got it, my psychology teacher doesn't think I've got it. So that's where the issues kind of came in. And so I had the screening done, which involved like these tasks, and then I also had to describe a picture. I had to kind of talk about what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, which was again a bit odd, and I find my reaction quite funny because it's when she's older and she wants to travel around the world and be a doctor or a researcher. So I'm going to be a doctor, hopefully. So I do find this a really funny read. So back to the point. I had the screening, my mum went and talked, and we sat outside for an hour, and then I got called in. It was we sat down, and she was like, oh, we've done all this, and we've talked, and we'll be sending this out, and we'll do this next. And it was like, do you want to know what we think? And I was like, yes, please. And they said, you have ASD. And I kind of sat there for a minute. I was like, what's that? Like, do I not have Aspergers? I'm pretty sure I've got Aspergers. No, you've got this one. And then they kind of took another breath and went, which is a new talk for Aspergers. So you don't get diagnosed with Aspergers anymore. You get diagnosed with ASD, which is autism spectrum disorder. And the relief that I felt when they said those words was amazing. I finally had the answers as to why I was odd, and to why I behaved like I did, and to why I didn't really have that many friends growing up, and why it took me forever to settle into places, and why I was like I was. And there's nothing bad about being like I am. I just wanted the answers because it was frustrating me. I remember sitting there and being like, you guys don't know how much this means to me, and finally realising who I was, which sounds really kind of hippie and I suppose millennial-like, but that's what it was. I went back to school afterwards, and they changed my meds and stuff, and then I was also referred to have Fragile X screening, which never actually went through. I don't know why. And I went back to school and ran up to my biology teacher going, I've got my diagnosis. And then she was like, oh yes. She was a great biology teacher. I really miss Miss Solomon. So that was it really. And then after that, it was up to me whether I told people. And I think I remember I kind of left it a couple of days and then kind of went, no, you know what, this is me, and this is massive part of who I am. So I told people, and I've never written back really. I've got so much more support because of it. So I have a mentor each week who I basically just rant to for an hour, but it's good ranting. And I'm actually seeing progress here at med school. So a lot of the time my brain can automatically jump to conclusions about social situations and how people feel about me and how I should react in social, and how it's crazy living in my head. But I found that I've been able to stop myself now and rationally think things out instead of trying to piece together puzzles. And it is really hard still, and I'm still trying to build this base on who's who and who is in my circle, and like, it's weird to describe, but I'm slowly getting there. I also have extra time for exams. I have work giving me rest breaks as well, so if I do go into a bit of a mode during my exams, I can have 10 minutes to just try and bring myself back down. And I have basically found who I am. If someone tried to take my diagnosis away from me now, it'd feel like they were chopping my limb off. I feel as if I'd lost my right arm, and even though sometimes I do doubt the validity of this, because I am borderline on this, and this is designed for 7-year-olds and not 18-year-olds, I think I don't really want to get re-diagnosed, because if I lose my diagnosis, I don't know what I'd do. So yeah, I'm still thriving today. I'm so proud of who I am. I have my main obsessions, and they're actually becoming important in med school because I really like the neuroscience side of things, I like the medicine side of things, and I'm finding more and more people who love the things that I love. So for me, the diagnosis wasn't a stopping point, it was just something to help me get my head around life as such, and we all need a little bit of help like that sometimes. So yeah. Well, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it semi-useful. I know I've been a bit waffly. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel because that would be great. And also check out my Instagram and WordPress sites because that's where I do the majority of like the output as such onto my platform. So my Instagram account, you'll get a semi-daily update on what's going on in med school, and then my WordPress account, I write a weekly blog of what's gone on every single week bar 2 since September. So yeah, please go and check it out. So thank you for watching, and we will see you later.